Good evening and welcome. Happy Friday. It's going to take a while just for people to catch in, log in, come along, however you want to put it. So everything's all ready to go. I think we're all set up. Wait for the notification to go out and then we'll start. Hi Yvonne, welcome. How are you? Good to see you. Lovely. Hi Christine. Hi Deborah. Welcome. How are you all doing? Are you good? I'm shattered. Hi Deborah. Hi Trina. Quick drink of water. Trudy True, welcome. Hi Christine. Good evening. Happy Friday everyone. Got some new lights and it looks like a better colour. Hi Jan. How are you Trudy? Teresa, hi. Hi Alison. Welcome. Oh, you beauty. Adele, hi. Or as I call my sister, Day Day. I couldn't say Adele. That was the easiest way to do it. And it stuck. So, I'm going to move that forward a bit. Because you don't need to see my body leaning in, do you? Not really. Is that better? Has it moved in? Good evening, young man. Yeah, that's better. Wow, shall we get started? Goodness. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Bev. Just made it. Good girl. That's what I like to see. Right. Piece of Pink Frog Super Smooth card. And it is 14 centimetres if memory serves correct. But we'll check because memory is not what it used to be. Hi, Sue. Yeah, it's 14, which in inches is 5.5. Nice round numbers. That's what we like. And we're going to start off by drawing 2 circles. Now, it don't matter what you draw around. Whatever takes your fancy. Got some gadgets knocking around, so they're always good for a draw round. So I'll go the outside of this. If you can twist your arms that way round. And the inside. Just real basic circles. That's all we've got. That's all we need. Let me hold it up. And before we start colouring tonight, we're actually going to do the stamping first. And I'm going to be using Janice Phillips Timestamps Creations. And it's this one. I don't know if they've got names anyway. Buzzing, I think it's called. Buzzing, I can see written down here. And I've got a main flower. Yeah, there it is, Buzzing. So I'm going to take this buzzing bee because I've said, oh, Sally, hello. Fancy seeing you here. Because I've seen a few bees out in the garden this week. It's been lovely. Butterflies and bees and things. Very nice to see. So I'm going to stamp up using Nocturne. Now you can use absolutely any stamps you want. Doesn't have to be, I think I've got the wrong ink pad. Doesn't have to be Janice's to do this. I seem to have a few black ink pads on the go, and I can't for the life of me find one that's inked up too well. Try this one. Ah, that's better. One with some ink on. And I'm going to pop this along the base of our card and in our circles. So I'm just going to lay that on there. Hi, Sarah. How is everyone? Hi, Marie. Hi, Maxine. Oh, I've missed the centre, but I'm not worried about that because I'm going to be colouring that in anyway. I just wasn't concentrating, too busy watching the screen. So that's that one. Now the next one. These have got a really nice insert. It's a bit thicker than a lot. Quite nice. And the other one is this one. Now I'm not sure if this has got a name on it. I can't see one anywhere. She might have just started doing that. But I'm going to use a few of these. So I'm going to start with this one that's on its side. Let's get that bit off. And I'm going to go just there, in that circle. Lovely. That's better when I pay attention. Another block, and I'm going to use this one this time. Now I'm going to try not to ink this stem up, but if I do, I can wipe it off. Hi, Susan. Get everything else inked up. Just run my finger on that little bit, try and get that really nice and clean. And then we can pop that one. Just making a bit of a crazy paving out of flowers. Fab. And the next one I'm going to use is this little daisy type one, which is really pretty. Again, this has got a stem on it. Hi, Van. And I'm just going to ink around that stem. And this one can go, we'll put it back in the circle. So that'll get us back in track. Then I'm going back to the first one we used. And we're going to move it the other way. So I've just twisted it round slightly. In fact, I'm going to twist it just a bit more. That's it. Hi, Sarah. There. And then one more, I think. And I have, let's pop that little daisy one back. A smaller one of these gerbera types. I'm sure it's not a gerbera, but it's got that look about it. Hi, Viv. So I'm sure you've got lots of flower stamps that you could use to do this. Lots and lots. I certainly got a few to choose from. But I hadn't used these before I made a go at this. I'm just cleaning that stem off. And I'm going to pop that this side of that circle. There. Lovely. I've got a little bit of ink there, but by the time we've done the background, you probably won't see that. You could use a sandy razor to take it off, but I don't want to scratch through the paper, especially as I'm going to do some watercolouring. This is super smooth, I think I've already said, but it takes water really, really well. Pop that out the way. Now the paints I'm going to use tonight are the Gansey Tambi granulating colours, and this is the first set. I must say, my favourite set. So I'm going to spritz them with water. The trick with these is water. Lots and lots and lots of water. I'm going to remove this back in for a while. And I've got a large round brush. It's size 10. Nice and soft. So I'm going to lift up. And I'm going to use the Aurora Violet. It's a beautiful colour, this is. And I'm going to pop it on my craft mat so you can see it. And add more water. The trick with these paints is lots and lots of water. So then we can start painting along. I'm just going to go over the whole of this background, carefully painting. You could cover these if you wish, but I'm just going to paint around them. Hi Alison, welcome. And as you spread this out, you'll see something strange happening. It actually changes colour almost. And I'm going to do it right up to that edge. We can erase those pencil lines once we've finished. The nice thing about a lot of good paintbrushes, doesn't matter how big the paintbrush is, if it comes down to a nice point, you can do the delicatest little areas and not worry about it. And we're just going to work all the way around. We're going to have a few layers of these. They're great to use if you've not used them already. They're very strange by the way they split. So it's like painting your skirting boards. If you flatten your brush out, you can keep to that edge. Quite nice. I'm not worried about the way it's going to dry. That's not a problem. That's it. Up and over. I love this paint. It's magic. See, a nice big brush, when you get to the areas that are open, makes it so much quicker. Not that it's a race, so don't think it is. Hi Matthew. Hi Leslie. No, you don't have to apologise. It's good you come and joined us. So we're going in between these. Let's pick this one up. Just take your time. And remember to breathe. It's always a good plan. It's one I forget really well. Hi Elizabeth, welcome. You're right, cuz? Nice to see you. Have you got yourself any of these paints yet? I love them. They're grand. So round the edge, wonder if our Sarah Lou's going to join us tonight. She does sometimes. The other day, there was all sorts of family members popped on. Keeping an eye on me, I know. You hang your tongue out the side of your mouth. Well, I do too, but when I'm talking, I can't do that. So that's not a bad thing. But I do find when I'm at workshops, people start laughing. And it's just because I've got my tongue sticking out. Good. I'm glad you're okay. I hope your mum is too. Hi, Tracy. Don't worry. Oops. Just put that straight over there. That works clever. You see, when I'm trying to watch, what people are saying, not watching what I'm painting. But my hands don't stop. Yeah, little pockets of pink, blue. It's like the purple splits out, isn't it? It's very strange. Strange paints. And this is just one colour. Look at that. I went right over the edge there. Never mind. Apparently real artists colour outside the lines. Yay! There we go. I love the way it is. It's drying quite patchy, look. I like that. I like that unevenness. I could use a small paintbrush, but we'd be here all night. Plus a bigger paintbrush, more bristles, mean you can carry more paint without having to dip back in it. That's it. I hold my breath when I paint, which isn't good. Because if you're painting lots, and I do paint lots at times, I tend to go a funny shade of purpley blue myself. You can watch me all night. You're on a night shift. Excellent. Well, there's one layer down. Shall we get a bit adventurous now? I'm going to change paintbrush. Go to a smaller one. Just to try and get... Can you see the colours? Can you see them? You can see the split colours. Look, that's orange, it says. So the outside's orange. Then you've got this greeny colour in the middle. Why don't we play with some of that? Mix it all together. Oh, yes. Tell you what, let's get really silly. And mix some of the Aurora blue in there. Hi, Rose. No rules. Just go for it. Whatever you want. Just generally going for a darker colour. What tickles me with this paint, I don't know if you've seen it. It does look green in the pot. But I've got a my water pot is quite broad, so I don't knock it over. There it is, that. And it's got twists on it. It probably wasn't made to be a water pot. It was an IKEA thing. And when the water settles, it splits into the different colours. It looks fab. So this is where this inner line comes in now. I'm just going to darken around the top end. And we could end up with all sorts of colours on this one. Absolutely all sorts. So hold your breath again. Yeah, we've got blues and pinks. Purples. So it's not a million miles off that centre. You get your brush strokes in this paint as well. If you don't like them, just run a paintbrush with some water on over the top, and that'll get rid of them for you. But I quite like them. They're a bit of me. Let's go up in this grass area. Oh, nearly missed this bit in the middle. So you could use masking fluid if you wish, but by the time you've painted it on and waited for it to dry, you can easily just paint round it. There it is, just there. Hi, Sue. What's that? Nearly there. Can nearly breathe again. Hope you've all had a good week. I've got Steve on holiday at the minute, so it's nice to have his company. Spend some time together rather than just working. So just slowly get in there. They're great paints. You just never know what you're going to get, ever. That's where I went off piste. I did. It was a bit rammed actually. It was absolutely packed, which is good to see for the vendors if people are spending. It was hard to move around the place, if I'm really honest. They stopped people coming in before lunchtime because it was at capacity. The annoying thing was there's another half of an hall that they'd just blanked off. So if they'd have opened that up and give everybody a bit more space to walk around, it would have made life a lot easier. But unfortunately, that's not what they did. So it did get really, really busy and I get a bit overwhelmed when it's that busy. It all gets a bit too much. A lot of it was sewing. Right, we're going to have to mix some more of this magic mixture. Some of that, some of that. Don't know if we used some of that last time, but we're going to have some of it now. And a bit of that. There you go. That should do it. Yeah, I get a bit overwhelmed. It all gets a bit too much. But I made it round. Managed to get, it was lovely to see Sweet Poppy stencils. Watched Janice, she was doing some make and takes. Josh was there with his stamps, which was lovely to see. So it was nice to catch up with some old friends. And I was there with my Bezzy, so it was nice to be out with her. Oh, bless Jan. Oh, blooming neck. I've just splashed that. I had an itchy nose and I moved the paintbrush too quick. Let's see if I can get that off. Yeah, apparently they done really well Thursday. So I think it's because you have the serious people going Thursday. It's a bit much, isn't it? They could have opened, yeah, there just wasn't the space in the aisles, and it made it too enclosed. It was a bit much, to be fair. It's a real shame. Nobody else was using that area. That's what gets me, when nobody else is using that area and they block it off. Yeah, you've got to shout it, Teresa. I did. I sent that feedback too. It was just too much. And for the amount you pay for the car parking and to get in, it's ridiculous. You should be allowed to move around. There. So now you've got a darker ring around the edge. Just mop that up for now. All the moppings go great. Look what happens. You get all those split colours. If you want for making flowers with your leftovers, that's the way to do it. So there's our rings and the outside. All done. So now we're going to colour or add some colour to our flowers. And I'm going to use watercolour pencils for this. And I've got my Mondelez, so the Kohinoor Mondelez watercolour pencils. They're my favourite watercolour pencil. And I'm going to start with 3, so a yellow going on to a darker yellow stroke, slightly orange, and then to a proper orange. Yes, it was mostly walls and sewing, but I quite like that side of the world too. So let's get our bee coloured in. And then we've got to work out flowers and such like. So I think this one, we can be yellow based. And I'll fill that space in that it missed earlier. Yeah, so it was lovely to see people, but it was tight. Yeah. I think if they had bigger space, you know, it would make it a lot more open to a lot more people. There's just not the space in the aisles, and it really wouldn't hurt them at all. I know they sell everything by the square foot, but goodness, you know, they could keep the stalls in exactly the same size, but just give us bit more elbow room in between. And you get people queuing up to the tills when it's busy, and they start queuing across the blooming aisle, and you can't walk anywhere then. You're stuck. Just gets a bottleneck. It took us hours to walk round just because of getting through the people. And I must say, there was some quite ignorant people there this year. There was a lot of pushing and shoving I've never seen before. Which is a real shame. That little, another 12 inches on those aisles would make all the difference, I swear. You wouldn't get the bottlenecks. But it is lovely to have a live show. It is lovely to see the people that make the stamps. It is lovely to be able to talk to them. So it's important we keep them going. Yeah, it's just it gets to me, Sally. It all gets a bit too peoply. I haven't got anything against people, but you can get too many in one spot. So there's a yellow. Put that to one side in case I need it again. We can add some shading. Yeah, it does get you a bit that way. Gets me a bit that way. I think I gave up part way round the fabrics and stuff. I love them as well. But it just got too busy. Yeah, there's no need for it. You know, I know it was busy. I know it was chock-a-block, but we're all in the same position. All in the same position. Just a little bit of patience. Yeah, they don't seem to care anymore. I don't know why. Josh and Susie are lovely people. And I love his stamps. We'll have to do one of his. I did show him one of my makes. He was quite impressed, which was nice. We used them at a workshop once. At one of mine. It was fun. Done self-portraits and everything. Lovely stamps, because they're a different concept altogether. Fabulous they are. Let's have a bit of darker colour up there. And now a spot of orange just to really give this a poof. Ooh, Josh and Susie, what are you missing? Josh and Susie. Josh's stamps. Let me show you. Look like this. Beyond Stamping it's called, Sally. And can you see it's loads of different body parts. So that's the kiddies and babies. That's a woman. And you've got a man. Yeah, that's a woman. There's another woman's body and body shape. So you can make anybody you like. There's a man. All bits and body parts. Bits and body parts. Some dogs. And unlike some other brands, it actually encourages you to draw your own bits. Put your own spin on them. That's what they're there for. They're a fabulous, fabulous base. They're lovely. And they're lovely people too. So it was nice to see them. Susie was there last time, but Josh wasn't at the desk last time in November. So it was nice to actually meet Josh. They are a lovely couple. They're just very, very different stamps, those are. And Janice, a year on for her and her stamps. I think she's got 9 releases now. Not bad going in a year, that. Her releases are quite small. Beautiful, love them too. So now I'm just washing over. You have to remember to clean your water brush regular, otherwise you're just going to end up with orange petals rather than blending them. So I always start on the pale and go into the middle where it's getting darker. That way you retain the shading that you've put on, and it does brighten up the petals, it really does. So start that end and move over. What are the Janice stamps called? They are called oh, my brain's gone. They are called time stamps, and they look like this. So they're lovely. Really nice design. Some lovely pattern building ones. Again, a little bit different, I think. A little bit quirky. A bit different from the norm. Great to make 3 inches out of. And Cardio were there. They were nice to see. No worries. And of course Lucy at Sweet Poppy Stencils. They were there. Right, I think we'll go pink with the next ones. So I'll have a pink and a red. Actually, that's a nicer reddy pink. Let's try that one. And how about a bit of purple in that? A bit of lilac. So we'll do those, I think. I'm glad I went along. I wouldn't not go. But they could do it so much better if they wanted. They really could. Not the stands, the actual people that sell the space. Have a bit more consideration. I've been to a few shows there, and they've never been that packed. The cake one isn't as packed in as that. They have a bit more space. And the Christmas one opens out a little more. But there's not a lot we can do about them, I'm afraid. It doesn't seem to matter what colours you use with these paints, because there's so many colours in them. Just about anything goes. Crazy paints. I like to go to support the few craft companies that do go. There's so few now, and I think back to all the people that used to be there. It used to take me hours just to walk down the first aisle, saying hello to everybody and looking at everything. The choices you had was unbelievable. There's a pink. Let's use the purple next. You can colour yours any colour you like. There's a lot that don't go anymore. Clarity used to be a big draw there. There was a few big names that used to go. Well-known brand names. There's some that do open days at their own places, which is great, but you know, when it's in the Midlands, it's nice for these companies to actually almost say thank you back by trying to be a little bit more local for people, not quite so isolated. Gosh, there used to be Jenny. Oh, there was lots. There was lots. There'd be lots of people demonstrating. I must get along to the motorbike museum one. Apparently that's really good. It is, Sally, that's the thing. You know, sometimes you need to go and touch and hold and feel the stamps, yeah? Sometimes you need to see the size and not just the measurement. And it's nice to actually meet the artists behind them. Oh, itchy eyeball. I've not quite worked out what this bit is yet. I'll have to ask Janice next time I see her. It's going to go green. It's going to be greenery because I need a bit of greenery. It can be anything you want. Mostly changed to use these pencils. I've been living with my polychromos recently. I do like those pencils. There. Gosh, look at the time. I'm going to be a little while yet. I hope you're not in a rush. Keeping you after school again. Again, make sure your brush is clean. Good. I'm glad you find it relaxing. I quite find it relaxing doing it. I love how when you use watercolour pencils, you add water on and they just wake up, don't they? They come to life, the colours. And if you struggle painting with layers, watercolour painting, then watercolour pencils are a great option. They're more Zig pens. They're good too. You do a similar thing with them. Again, I'm starting on the pale side and taking it over. Hi, Kim. Welcome. Thank you. Glad you like it. Right, so now we need to work on the green and the centres. Let's do the green first. 3 colours: pale, medium, dark. We'll start with giving it a pale layer. Good, I'm glad you're loving it. Thanks, Adele. Then I've got a real dark green. Finish my sentence. I do struggle with that when I'm colouring. There. Now what I'm going to do for the bee's wings, I have some Wink of Stella. Some big brushes of Wink of Stella. Ooh, doing that now. Now I've splashed that everywhere. So I can put a little bit of that on there. And then pull it out. I have made a mess tonight. Need to concentrate more. Let's try and mop that up. Oh, the colour's coming out, but the sparkles are spreading as it does. Never mind, that's cleaner. Okay, so actually I like that so much. I think I might add a bit to some of these flowers. They're so pretty. Bit of sparkle. I love Wink of Stella. All because our bee needed some colour. That's good. Right, I think these ones can have an orange centre. And this one, I think, can be pink. And I'm just going to colour around the edge. And then I'll add a spot of that purple. And then we can blend it. Start on the white side and pull your brush over. Soften any edges that you may have. There. Right. I think that's enough colour for one day. Before I splash it everywhere. Actually, we're not doing too bad considering I've splashed it with all sorts. I don't know if you can see any shine on that yet. It normally shows up when it's dry, so let's give it a quick blast. Just straighten the card out. There. Now, somewhere I have a graphic pen to add. Oh, I'm throwing pens all over the floor. Just to add a bit more detail, because we lost some, if you remember, It didn't stamp. So a little bit of pointism. Just to add some of that detail back in. There, that's better. Right. Next layer. Just when you thought it was safe. No, we're not done yet. Quickie glue pen. Now you can use the inside or you can use the outside. I'm going to put a line around our circle and add some Mandy dots here and there. Some big, some small. And a line. Now, if you do circles, rather than just go ringy around, scribble through it, because otherwise you end up with circles with no ink in the middle or no glue in the middle. And that doesn't look very nice when you put your foils or your gilding flakes around. So I'm just following that curve. Big dots, little dots. A splash of sparkle. I'll turn it round so I don't put my hand in the dark. Not the dark. In the glue. This, if you've got any stalks you don't want to see, now's a good time to use your glue to disguise them. They don't look so bad now, so I'm not too worried anymore. I think that will do a treat. There's lots of glue on there, so we'll dry that off. Thank you, Jane. They are lovely, aren't they? They're quite clean. Janice has a few different styles. Some are photography, some are drawn, some are pattern making. So there's a real choice. So worth looking at. I could have used some of my Tracy Evans stamps, but I think they'd have been a bit big for this size picture. She's got some beautiful blooms. Beautiful they are. So now I need to go and get a nice dry brush. That should be dry enough now for this. I like to use a flat edge brush because it helps scrub it a bit more. So I've got some Cosmic Shimmer Gold and Silver. So I'm going to try and pick up, if I can, the gold rather than the silver. So I'll just shift that to one side a second. Now you can use tweezers or you can use a paintbrush, fingers, whatever. See, look, that pesky silver one sticking there. So pop it on your card. Unfold it if you can. There you go. Ooh, look at that bit. That's gold leaf, that bit. I remember putting it in there. This is where you hold your breath, because it goes everywhere else. Ooh, you thought I'd go over, did you? I nearly did. This has got some bronzy bits in as well. You could mix it up if you wanted. Whoa, look at that bit. Squash it down and pull it off. It's great when they're new, because you get great big sheets of the stuff. Right, now I'm going to try and see if I can spread that out a bit now. Breathe. Don't sneeze. Don't anybody sneeze. There we go. Oh, it flies everywhere. Sticks to everything. Cat walks around all shiny. Poor Poppy. And breathe. That gold leaf is really shiny. Oh no, Sally, goodness. At least you found out what it was. Crikey, bless her heart. Oh, goodness, how she managed that? She's playing with it and just swallowed it. Crikey. So I'm just making sure I've got this on all the glued areas. I do like a bit of shiny. The longer you leave your glue to dry, the better and the more defined your spots will be. So you probably have a little bit more time than me to have a good faff. Stick it on. I like to put it on and go away and have my dinner. Forget about it. Come back the next day and go, oh, that's what I was doing. And it'll still work. Because I've gone and done something else as well instead. Got sidetracked, as I do. Get the lid on quick. Whatever we make next, Sally, with that, it's going to be silver. Clean down. Whee. Oh, sorry, knocking you about. There. So let's find some backing card to go with that. Now, what do I have? I have just the thing. Look at that. A lovely plum colour. Let's shift this out the way before I cut it in half. Cutting mat. We're nearly done. You're doing so well. They're still with me. Let's have some tape. Thank you, Antonetta. It's very kind. That's it, some of that. And we'll put some glue on it if I can find it. Everything's gone walkabout today. This one I'll have to do. It's a bit fine, this one. Bit of work. Thank you, Beverly. Let's pop that on there. About there-ish. Give it a good rub. Bend it into place. Is there any areas that aren't stuck that bit? There you go. Oh, I've just found the big one. That's annoying. It was here all along. So what size border are we going to put on this bad boy? Let's have a medium kind of border. That one I think would be perfect. 3/16 of an inch, apparently. In old money. Doesn't give it me in metric, I'm afraid. Cut that big bit up because we can use that for something else. I always try and get the big bits off first. Then you're not wasting so much. Little bits go in the recycling, big bits get used again. Works for me. Looks nice on that colour. And then I think we'll mount it on a card. Let's have a proper card again. We're doing well with our proper card making. I shall need a craft show to sell them all at soon. Do the same again. Bit of tape. That just holds it in place while the glue dries. And here's the broader one. This is the one I was after earlier. Oops, fell off the edge. Right, plenty. It's a bit quicker with that one. They're great, these. So make sure my card's the right way up, or the Sally way up. That's the right way up to me, is that way. Hi, Trudy. How you doing? Nice to see you. So we're going to pop this. A bit of a guesstimate about where the middle is. About there. There you go. And a little shiny card. Oh, we're not done too bad. And there's the one I did. Got more gold on that one. I think I prefer this subtle one of this. I hope you like that. They're good fun to make. Lots of layers. No stress. No panic. Just play. And I must remind you, while I'm here, if I can find my samples, there's a couple of workshops. There's one coming up in April, and there's one that's already available. This is the April online live. There you go. Woo. So that'll be our next live online workshop. That one and this one. A little bit of space. Bits of excitement. Currently, we've got one already live, and it's all about the writing. There you go. And I even spelt remember right on this one after somebody pointed it out to me. Although I do explain in the workshop how to get around that or not do it. I should listen to myself sometimes. So, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. It's been fabulous spending the evening with you. It's bigger than you expected, is it, Sally? They are quite big, actually, all of them. But, you know, sometimes you have to go big to make it easier. So thank you so very much for joining me tonight. It's been lovely. So have a great weekend. I'll be back online over on Tracy Evans Boutique Design, Tuesday night, 7:30, usual time. And I'll see you there. Have a great time. Lots of love. Bye-bye.